Hello and welcome back to Shulchan HaRav. We continue in Hilchos, Betzias, HaPas, Siman Kuf Samach Zayin, and we pick it up with Sifyot Test. B'nei Chabur she'en b'neihem ba'al bayis. If there's a group of people eating together and none of them are a head of household, let's say it's all Bachrim, or Shikulim ba'al batim, or everyone's a head of a household, then Gadol b'chacham shehem hu b'tzeh. Whoever is the biggest Talmid Chacham among them should be the one to make the bracha, Mishum Kavod, because it's an honor for him to do that and he deserves it. Or he can give permission to someone else if he wants to give them the honor. If all of them are equally on the same level as of Talmidei Chachamim, but one of them is a kohen, then the mitzvah is to give him precedence. However, if however, the kohen is an ignoramus, an unlearned person, but who Talmid Chacham, and the other person is a Talmid Chacham, who kohen the Talmid Chacham takes precedence, and it's forbidden for a Talmid Chacham to give precedence to an Am Haaretz. Derek Chayk Umishpat, typically Umishpat Kuna, typically the ruling and the status of a kohen is not enough to give him the precedence. Unless this Talmid Chacham would be Michael on his own covenant, he would set aside his own honor and give this kohen the permission to make the bracha, even if he were not a kohen, he'd give this man without the precedence. Anyways, and this will be explained elsewhere. However, the kohen is also Talmid Chacham, but the Yisrael is a greater Talmid Chacham. It's still better to give the kohen precedence because of his kahuna, as long as he is a Talmid Chacham. But the Yisrael, who is a greater Talmid Chacham, has no obligation to do that. But it's a nice thing for him to do. If he does do it, if he gives the kohen precedence, the Talmid Chacham will get a bracha of a long life. If, however, there is a head of a household present in this group, he takes precedence, even in front of a kohen who is a Talmid Chacham, because it's this guy's house. Because he will be the most generous, since it's his bread to give out. And even though giving the kohen precedence is a deraisa requirement, nevertheless, we assume that most kahanim are going to set their covet aside because of this, because of the Baal Bayis or the Talmid Chacham. And even if he is not someone who would typically waive that honor, he still does not take precedence over the head of the household regarding making the bracha and cutting the bread. The Baal Bayis, whose food this is, has the option to not give this man food anyways. There is no obligation from his status as a kohen to give him food for free. And even if he is the employer, the kohen is the employer, he still has, or if he's the kohen's employer, that he has no obligation to sustain him right now. Some later time he can pay him, or some other situation. Unlike Birchas Hamazon, where by the benching where the kohen already ate, when he's chai Birchas Hamazon in kulam yachad, together with everybody else, he has the same obligation to bench right now. Then the kohen has to be given precedence unless he explicitly says he doesn't mind. If a person wants to give covet to someone who's greater than him for whatever reason, Rasha, he's allowed to, and that is a minig. The kohen can give precedence to someone who's better than him in benching. That is the minig. A chasan on the day of his chasana, he should be making the bracha first. The kohen, even though there's someone who's greater than him, and there's also someone who's a kohen there, since the meal is on behalf of this chassan of the yadali the and he could actually send somebody away if he didn't want to feed them. Then no one takes precedence over him. It would be a midah of a nava, would be a humble gesture. That even though the guy making the bracha is greater, he should take permission. He should ask permission, so to speak, from everybody there. If you hear some people saying that bishus with permission of my teachers and my rabbis, as if they are greater than him, even though they're not, but he's acting humbly. It would be nice for them to make the bracha. He's doing this as an act of humility. And the minig also is to ask rishus from a kohen who might be present present. If he's been given the mitzvah of this other person given the mitzvah of benching, of leading the benching, you'll hear people say birshus the kahanim, etc. And that is the proper way. The absolute mitzvah is to give the kohen precedence, and therefore it's actually forbidden to bench, to lead the benching without permission of the kohen, unless the person benching is greater than that kohen in chachma. Nevertheless, just saying birshus doesn't help him. Just if the kohen actually didn't give him rishus. Have a great day.